Hello guys, welcome to today's video. In today's content, I'm going to talk about the top 5 tips that will increase your chances of doing really good on the ethics section of the CFA Level 1 exam. My name is bilalghattis. I'm an expert finance and CFA trainer, and I'm going to do my best to share my experience with you to help you guys do well on your exams. Let's jump into the content. Hint number 1. Make sure to keep ethics till last. Questions related to ethics are built on scenarios which use a lot of technical terms that a lot of the candidates might not be aware of, such as buy side, sell side, soft dollar arrangements, mutual funds, hedge funds, etc. So if you guys leave the ethics section till last and go over all the 9 topics, such as equity, corporate issuers, fixed income, alternative investments, derivatives, you're gonna build your knowledge, you're gonna solidify your foundation when it comes to technical terms, so that when you get to the ethics section, all the technical terms that might show up in an example or an exercise, you're gonna be familiar with, and you won't feel puzzled and have to stop and then go look at a certain term to really understand what it means. So if you keep this section till last, you're gonna feel more comfortable as you're going over a certain exercise or scenario. Tip number 2. Ethics is not about memory work. Now, of course, you have to know the code of ethics and you have to know the standards, but don't memorize all the details within. Make sure to understand them in your own way, make sure to take notes, and this will make you more comfortable as you're approaching a certain exercise. Now, tip number 3 and 4 are related to tip number 2. So, tip number 3, make sure to study the ethics from the CFA Institute books or online access. The CFA Institute provides candidates with a lot of examples covering a lot of scenarios in the body of the book. You're gonna go over multiple what-ifs. And as you look at different scenarios, make sure to write your notes saying, if this shows up, then I should pay attention for this specific factor. If this variable shows up, then I should pay attention for that specific factor. Make sure to have dynamic notes that take into consideration as much scenarios as possible. Because at the end of the day, the scenarios are not unlimited. They are limited, but what changes are the variables. So if you do that, you'll increase your chances of doing way better when it comes to the ethics section. Tip number 4, make sure to make use of all the detailed explanation in the answers, even if you got the question correct. There's a lot of valuable information that shows up in the explanation of a certain answer that you might not be aware of, even if you got the question correct. So make sure to go over the details of the answers and take notes of whatever information you might find useful. Tip number 5, make sure to practice on the ethics section few days before the exam date. If you go over a certain scenario and you specify the factors that either exist or don't exist, make sure to play with the variables and go like, okay, so in this question, this variable exists. Now, if it didn't exist, would it change the answer? If something else existed, how would the answer look like? This will solidify your knowledge and gives you a confidence boost that will hopefully show up in a good way on the exam date. A final note, guys, the code and the standards are not only important for the exam, they are important for you during your journey as a candidate for all 3 levels, and they are also important for you when you become charter holders and join the CFA Institute and your local society. So make sure to uphold them in the highest way possible. This is all for today, guys. I hope you've liked the content. If you have any question related to the CFA program or CFA exams, drop it in the comments section, or feel free to send me an email. I'll see you in future content. Take good care, guys.